Hi, I'm Madison,
I'm Marissa.
and we're going to be playing How to Talk Like a Local Florida edition. Number one, pub sub. I'm guessing it's a that you sandwich that you get from the pub. That's my guess.
Okay, interesting. I think that would work if we were in the UK, but it's actually a sandwich from Publix, which is a very well known grocery store that's founded in Florida. It still has the headquarters here. And it's like a huge thing. Like if you're going to the beach, you get a pub sub. If you're hungry, a pub sub. The chicken tender sub is really good, and that's usually a fan favorite.
Ooh, that does sound good. And that makes sense. Like I saw pub and I wasn't even thinking in US terms. Second one is Jack's. I'm thinking, I don't know if it's just like maybe a shortened version of Jacksonville or if it has something to do with maybe sports.
No, you're right. Shortened version of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Third one is Hurricane Party, which I like a hurricane. I don't know if it's like a hurricane is on the way and everybody's getting together to party, or it's like a hurricane is currently happening, the hurricane just passed.
So kind of all of the above. It's usually if it's, a hurricane's coming or it's there and it's not super catastrophic, you basically get together with your friends, work's canceled, school's canceled, friends, neighbors, you share supplies and basically just cook a bunch of food, usually on a grill, and drink a lot of alcohol.
I've never I can't think of like another type of natural disaster like an earthquake party, or I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, see, that's the funny thing. I feel like,
Yeah.
First of all, Floridians, any chance they get to throw a party will happen. But also because you have so much time in advance of a hurricane coming, you have that prep time to kind of,
Yeah, that makes sense. 4 is Alligator Alley. I'm just imagining like a region where there's a lot of like somewhere in Florida where there's just like a lot of alligators.
Yes, correct. It is. It's a stretch of I-75 that's like 80 miles long, and it basically connects the two coasts, east and west, in a straight shot through the Everglades, and they're alligators. You could just be driving, look out your window, and right there in the water, see a bunch of sunbathing alligators.
That's a nice place to see them, though. You're in the safety of your car.
Right.
Driving
and there's
along.
a big fence. There's a fence too, in fairness. So yeah.
That makes sense. Like help keep the alligators from getting out on the road, which I'm sure is like a problem anyway in parts of Florida where there's just alligators walking across the street. Yeah.
Yep. And in swimming pools and all that fun stuff.
Next one is Snowbirds, which okay, my first thought was like a bird, but I feel like I've heard this with Arizona, but I don't know. It's like people who travel, like they live in one part of the US for half the year and then somewhere else the other half of the year. Is that it?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, it's kind of just a play on people who flock to Florida or migrate there during winter months to escape the snow from the north.
Yeah, I never really like understood that at first until like I started living in Utah, and it's like, now see how that could be really nice during the winter to go live somewhere else.
Yes.
The next one is love bugs, which I have no clue what that is.
Okay, so this is actually, they're kind of gross. It sounds cute, but they're not. It's an invasive species of a fly that
Oh,
during certain months, especially on the Gulf Coast, they are everywhere. Swarms of them. And
uh-huh.
they're kind of big, and it's just like you'd be walking around the block and they're just like kind of like just like smacking you in the face sort of thing.
Hmm.
So yeah, very gross.
Yeah, not what I imagined. I was like thinking maybe a ladybug or something. I was not imagining
Oh,
that at all.
that would have been nicer. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the next one, I'm not sure if I'm gonna say it correctly, but Palmetto bug. I don't know what that is either. I'm imagining like a grasshopper.
Okay, interesting. It's actually more similar to a cockroach.
Oh,
So, yes, very big bugs that look like cockroaches and they can fly.
uh-huh.
So that's terrifying if you're not a fan of cockroaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all over. A lot of people confuse them for cockroaches, but they're different bug.
So we have some alligators, some nice bugs. The next one is a fried mullet, which I have no clue what that is. I don't like a type of food.
Yes, it is. It's a fish, a fried fish. Mullet
Oh,
is a type of fish, and it's coated, breaded,
uh-huh.
fried, deep fried. You can have it as a sandwich. You could have it with for breakfast with some eggs. It's yeah, yep.
I've
Floridians
never
love
heard of
fried fish.
I've never heard of that before. I'm sure I've seen it before, but I just never paid attention to it.
Yeah.
The next one is Stingray Shuffle. I think I only like just recently, if what I'm thinking is correct, it's like the way you should walk through the water. Is that it? Like to make sure you can avoid the stingrays?
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to make sure when you're walking in the water that you are kind of like kicking up anything that like avoiding stepping on a stingray? So you're kind of just trying to like kick up so it's not, you're not going to like step on it and
Uh-huh.
ow.
Yeah. I only just like heard about that a week ago, or I would have had no clue what that was. The next
Interesting. Do you remember where you heard about it?
TikTok.
Oh,
I heard about
okay.
it on TikTok.
Good.
Not
Good.
from somebody. It was like a video of
Okay.
somebody at the beach. I don't know where they were, like if they're in Florida or somewhere else, and they were saying like make sure you walk through the water like this because they were showing that there was a stingray that was disguised in the sand.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
just bury themselves under the sand and then you can't really see them.
Hmm.
Yeah. Wow, good. TikTok spreading the safety rules. Love it.
Yeah. Helpful information.
Yeah.
The next one is cabbage. Swamp cabbage. Um, I'm imagining soup, but I have no clue.
Okay, that's a good guess. It's actually a vegetable that is taken from the heart of a cabbage palm and the sable palmetto, which is the official state tree of Florida.
Ooh, okay. How do people eat it? Is it like,
I would assume a variety of ways. Maybe probably in a soup.
yeah,
Maybe they actually there's an annual swamp cabbage festival if you'd like to attend. You probably get some good recipes.
I'll have to look it up afterwards to see what it's all about. The next one is the itch. The itch. I don't know. I like dance move, or because you're getting bit by so many different bugs in
Oh,
Florida.
that's a good guess, actually. Um, Surprisingly, no. It is a river, the Itchituckney River, and people tube it, kind of like in the Chattahoochee River in Georgia. You tube the hooch. It's like tubing the
Mm.
itch.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I've never heard of that
Yeah.
either, but I'm gonna look that up. Chicken of the trees. Chicken of the trees. I don't know. Like, it's a type of bird. I have no clue.
Iguanas. It's a
Oh,
euphemism
okay.
for iguanas because we have a
Yeah.
ton of them all over. I have them in my backyard. There's one that is just now my neighbor that lives in the palm tree. And I don't call it a chicken of the tree, but I have
Uh-huh.
named him. So we're friends now.
And they wander and then they come back again.
Yeah. Yep. They will be on my roof. They will be taunting my dogs. And then they just go to sleep in a little palm tree hammock and it's their life.
Nice.
Chicken of the tree.
The next one is lizard earrings. Lizard earrings. I like I think it doesn't have anything to do with earrings. But and then we already just talked about chicken of the trees, so I don't think it's something else like hanging from something. I don't know. Lizard earrings. I have no clue.
Okay, this one is very straightforward. People in Florida, because there are little lizards too, they catch these little lizards and then the lizards will bite their ear lobe
Oh.
and dangle from their ears. It's a
So it was an
Florida thing.
earring.
Yep, it's a legit lizard earring. That one was not a trick.
But do they so they purposefully, like it's not just a lizard biting their ear. They find them and put them on their ears.
It's just really for fun, and you do it as a
Yeah.
kid. It's definitely not a
Yes.
fashion statement. Like people are not going out on the town with
Yeah.
them. But yes, the lizards do bite and hang from the earlobe.
Interesting. Okay, the last one is rule number 7, which I have. It's like maybe there's like a certain amount of rules you should know for Florida, but I don't know what any of the rules are on this list.
Yeah. uh, yes, that's a good guess. It's actually it has to do with the weather, which
Mm.
meteorologist Dennis Phillips, he has his own set of hurricane rules, and basically number 7 is don't freak out unless he tells you to. So a lot of people, when they see that a hurricane's coming, they'll just go to the store and stock up on stuff. It creates shortages and things like that. So basically, he's just saying, don't freak out unless he tells you to freak out.
Yeah, that's. I know I would definitely like probably my mindset would be to go and stock up because I'd be freaking out. But if I saw the weatherman, like once the weatherman says like, yeah, you should make sure get out of town, I
Yes,
would really listen then. Well, I think
definitely.
I did. I the first half I did a lot better than the second half. I knew a lot more
I think you
than
did really well. I
I
think you did really
thought I would
well.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, even
Well,
like some of your suggestions too, like turning the itch into a dance move.
yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for teaching me all of this Florida slang. I feel like I'll be semi local if I ever go visit now.
Definitely. Anytime.